Enoch was introduced by Ahsoka as the captain of the guard for Grand Admiral Thrawn. His name may reveal a lot about his role in the Star Wars television series. Thrawn's cunning, ingenuity, and strategic acumen made Morgan Elsbeth's choice to bring him back to the galaxy a risk in and of themselves. But with a legion of mysterious night troopers led by Captain Enoch, it seems that there is more going on Peridea than first appears to be the case. By incorporating names, character arcs, and concepts from the Lord of the Rings, Greek mythology, and other sources, Ahsoka fully embraces the mythical origins of Star Wars. Dave Filoni follows this tradition by appropriating the name Captain Enoch from the Bible and other works of literature from the ancient Near East. This produces a little enigmatic but potentially potent connection. Since Enoch is a new character in the Star Wars canon and does not seem to have been influenced by any Star Wars mythology, the little that is known about him comes from his brief debut in Ahsoka. Despite the fact that he has limited screen time and has no background, there are still certain aspects about his character that may be discovered. First of all, it's significant that he has a name since, in the past, the Empire required stormtroopers to identify themselves by their operational number. But Thrawn breaks from this custom, and surely as a consequence, he has greater support from his warriors. Second, his title is noteworthy since the First Order often used the title Captain of the Guard whereas the Empire didn't, indicating that Thrawn may have had some influence on the Empire's successor. Apart from his name and position, there is definitely something odd about Enoch and Thrawn's fellow night troopers. They were presumably all formerly stormtroopers who were lost in the Spiral Galaxy with Thrawn, despite the fact that their armor and behavior had altered from the antiseptic uniformity of the Empire. A good example of this is Captain Enoch. With the addition of a gold face mask, Enoch's full face mask updates the typically faceless appearance of stormtroopers while still seeming utterly unnatural. The armor of other stormtroopers is constructed from vintage Imperial armor parts connected with crimson fabric and gold infill. In addition to the changes to their armor, the night troopers have another quirk. Given their name and Thrawn's connection to the Great Mothers, which indicates he had previously relied on their magic during his exile, the army could have a magical element. There is a prevalent idea that some kind of necromancy is taking place since the canisters being carried into Thrawn's Star Destroyer, the Chimera, look to contain corpses. It is not yet known whether they are improved, as Mother Talzin made savage oppress in Star Wars, the Clone Wars, or if they are something more sinister, like an undead army. In addition to what Ahsoka revealed, Enoch's name is still another crucial clue. Enoch is mentioned several times in the Bible. The first instance is linked to Cain, the first murderer, who had a son named Enoch and founded a city called Enoch. Although it leads to some fascinating conclusions, the name Enoch is mainly notable for another biblical figure who is included in Adam's ancestry. The lineage lists the age at which each character passed away, but for Enoch it also states that after 365 years Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. The statement God took him is often understood to suggest that Enoch lived a virtuous life and was really physically transported into heaven rather than dying on earth. The Book of Enoch is a collection of other ancient writings that include a great deal more details concerning Enoch than the canon of Scripture. The Book of Enoch is an example of apocalyptic literature that often emphasizes judgment and death. The story of fallen angels who interbred with humans to create the Nephilim is told in the Book of the Watchers, the first portion of the Book of Enoch. There are a lot of apparent differences or subversions between Captain Enoch and Ahsoka and the biblical Enoch, but there are also some very clear parallels between them. However, if Ahsoka is arranging the scene so that Captain Enoch regards Thrawn as a divinity, then his getting along with Thrawn may be an apparent parallel. Captain Enoch is not a good guy, unlike the Enoch of the Bible who is renowned for his holiness. This view is supported by the revelation that Enoch seems to be distinct from the other night troopers and has been or will be sent to a distant galaxy, with Thrawn mimicking the biblical Enoch's ascension. According to the Book of Enoch, Enoch was given divine knowledge of all God made, both visible and unseen, after being raised into heaven. He was also granted authority over angels and the duty of guarding God's throne. Captain Enoch's title has a striking likeness as well. Again, if the night troopers saw Thrawn as a kind of divinity, then Commander Enoch, who serves as both their leader and Thrawn's personal attendant, has numerous parallels to the biblical and apocryphal Enoch. Despite a number of similarities and subversion of the Enochian archetype with Captain Enoch and Ahsoka, it's likely safest to assume the inspiration is loose at best, especially since Captain Enoch isn't a main character, and the kinds of things that happen to Enoch in the Bible and the Book of Enoch are all main character level events. However, that doesn't mean the inspiration can't provide a small peek at Dave Filoni's intentions for the character. Due to his love for Thrawn, proximity to him, and command over the night troopers, it is clear that he already has some of Enoch's characteristics. More than anything else, the significance of Enoch's name may be used as evidence of the significance of the night troopers. The fact that Enoch was given authority over heavenly beings raises the possibility that there is a supernatural component to the night troopers. The fallen angels that God has imprisoned make a similar request to Enoch in the Book of Enoch, but God rejects it. The Night Troopers may be considered to be ordinary people who have fallen victim to the Night Sisters' enchantment, with Enoch elevated above them. That would be the most apparent comparison to that aspect. Of course, the moniker Captain Enoch may simply be that, a name. The Star Wars canon is infamous for being replete with intriguing secondary characters that are given significant weight and in-depth backstories yet little to no screen time. This is especially true for someone like Captain Enoch, who is sporting fashionable armor. Given that his connection to Thrawn, the Night Troopers, and the Night Sisters may be a significant topic in upcoming episodes of Ahsoka, it will be intriguing to learn more about the origins of his name.